你们好，现在我们开始上课。So weird to say so. Of course, I cannot imagine that someday I'm going to give my class on the internet, especially for the language class. And today I'm going to introduce my class, Intermediate Chinese 1. It's intermediate, but it's not so hard to compare with the same level in the mainland China. It's much easier. I guess it's a little higher than the beginning level, but much easier than the real intermediate Chinese. So don't be worried about our class. But also, if you think that the content is too easy for you, please let me know. And first of all, I'm going to introduce myself. Of course, as intermediate Chinese, I'm going to introduce myself in Chinese. 你们好，我是你们的老师，我叫刘亚飞，我是中国人，我家有3口人，我的爱人 my husband， 我的爱人是韩国人，我的女儿中国年纪 the Chinese age count to be， 我的女儿中国年纪6岁。我常常在家看书、睡觉、吃饭。我不喜欢运动。在韩国，我不常常说韩语，因为在家我常常说汉语，所以我的韩语跟你们的汉语一样。So if as soon as possible, I'm going to see you in the real classroom. I'm going to learn some Korean from you too. 我在韩国14年。It's the 14th year that I was here. 我很喜欢韩国，也很喜欢中国。我很喜欢吃韩国菜，吃中国菜，吃日本菜，所以我平时不常常出去。平时我在家看电视、看书。要是你有问题，请给我发电子邮件。So please contact me with my email because I'm at home every day. So I'm going to reply you as soon as possible. And I'm going to introduce our textbook. Our textbook is Integrated Chinese and it's level 1, part 2. It's the most popular textbook in the US. So the textbook is really expensive. By now they have the 4th edition and my textbook is the 3rd one. I have no money to buy a new one. That's only a joke. And if you think it's really expensive to buy a real book, there's a lot of ways to get this. Like you can search on the internet, you can input the name with PDF, and you can get the textbook. And it's level 1, part 2. But for this level, the lesson is from lesson 11 to lesson 20. And for this semester, we're going to learn from lesson 11 to lesson 15. So we're going to learn 5 lessons. And next one is the most important one for you. It's about the score. And for the whole semester, I will going to calculate your score according to this. The first is our exams. And for all the exams, we have separate written part and oral part. And for the midterm, the written test, we're going to count 25% and the oral test, we're going to be 10. The final exam are the same. And about the patterns, I'm going to let you know later. And also there's attendance, the quiz, the homework, and I'm going to talk about this later in detail. As you know, recently, out of our course inside of our university is absolute grading. So I'm going to give you the score according to the basic score that you were going to get after all of the exams. And if you want to get A plus, as 100 to 96, and A0 will going to be 95 to 93, and as follows. And someone will going to ask me, is 96 is too high, and it's really difficult to get a really high score. It's impossible to get A plus. But in fact, if you can do it well, most of you, like last semester, I remember maybe 80% of the students got A grade. Some of them A plus, some of them A0, and sometimes A minus. And there's one problem is if you are going to get A minus, please don't contact me that I need to apply for some scholarship or influence me a lot. So would you mind to change my score to A0 or A plus? There's no chance because I will going to calculate all the scores according to your everyday scores. So there's no chance for me to change your score. Maybe it's my mistake to miscalculate all your score, then I will going to change the score. But if it's not my fault, I won't change it at all. And about the attendance, about the online class, I'm going to mention it later in another video. And for a whole semester, for the attendance, if you won't show up in the class, normally, according to the school policy, is 1/3 of the whole semester that if you are absent, you're going to be F. But for the language course, we have changed the policy to be 6 absence. So if you are not here for 6 times, and finally turn to be F. And for the tardiness, I'm sorry, for the tardiness, we're going to take attendance on time. So don't be late. But if you have some special reasons that you're late, for example, maybe your previous class finished quite late, if you give me enough reason, maybe 5 minutes is okay. I won't count that to be late. But if it's after 15 minutes, then the student will go to be marked absent. It's really strict because at the very beginning of the class, a lot of students will come in and they were going to interrupt us a lot. So I want to emphasize this part. And for the full mark for the attendance is 10 points. And if there's one absent, you're going to get 3 points discount, and the tardiness will going to be -1. And I'm going to calculate all of them in detail at the end of the semester. And sometimes maybe you're ill, and sometimes maybe you have other reasons like you need to go to the army service or other important things, like some of you are going to get a job interview, and it is okay, but you should let me know. And maybe if it's not beforehand, at least right after the class, send me email or let me know that, send me some message to let me know that you are not here for some reason, and you should hand me the documents on your next class. I won't accept that kind of document at the end of semester at once. Sometimes some students give me maybe 3 or 5 pieces of documents to show that for some day that I was sick, for some day I was like that. I won't count that at all. And because our class is a language course, and we're going to emphasize that for that kind of review, we only accept that for 2 times. So if you or sick, or if you have other problems, for whole semester we only accept 2 times. And the quizzes for each semester, we are going to learn 5 lessons. So after each lesson, we're going to have a quiz. So altogether, maybe 3 or 4 times after each lesson. And some student asked me, of course, I was sick on that day, so I cannot take the quiz. It's okay, because finally I'm going to calculate the average score. And if you took 3 times, I'm going to calculate 3 to be the average, or 4 times as the average, so it doesn't matter. Then about our homework. Our homework is not so difficult, but also not too easy. And I'm going to ask you to make a dialogue by yourself. I'm going to give you the topic after each lesson, like the first lesson to talking about the weather, your plan, and you need to make a dialogue by yourself. And of course, because it's a language course, I would like to ask you to record the dialogue by yourself and then send that file to me. So as the first homework, today I'm going to ask you to do a self-introduction in Chinese, like I have done in the previous pages, like 我叫，我是，我家有，我喜欢。这个寒假 is this winter vacation。这个寒假我在中国。这个寒假你做什么了？ So please finish this and upload your recording on the WiSec. Please upload your file before this Thursday. 星期四晚上1点以前。That's the end for this video.